mucus-free. We are 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 mucus-free.
What's going on, brothers and sisters? Welcome to another episode of the Mucus-Free Life podcast, episode 52. And I am super excited today, bringing on a good friend of mine, Vadim Voss. We'll be talking about cryptocurrency, potential for those of us that practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System to be able to earn passive income very easily. Been doing this thing for 2 years. We're going to talk about it. On Tuesday, I want you to join us for free training where we'll actually be able to get really deep into this whole process of earning this passive income on decentralized finance. And a few months ago, we had Vadim on. He talked a little bit about his past. We're going to bring him back on and see what is going on with him. But what is happening? July 2023. I've been really going back over a lot of old videos, a lot of old, not that old, but a few years back when we started the Eric Day celebration. We are going to have the 5th annual Professor Arnold Eric Day celebration, which is more gonna be an intimate event. Something that not everybody is going to have access this year. You can't just buy a ticket to it, but I will put a link if you are interested in joining us. There is an application. You can sign up. If you've already signed up, we'll be getting back with you shortly about that. But there's going to be a lot of fun this year in a little mini mansion, and I'll show you some pictures and stuff in a little bit. But just going back over from 2018, where we had the event in my backyard, then 2019, we upgraded 2021, 2022. Of course, we got hatcheted in 2020 and it didn't go down like we planned because of reasons that I'm not even allowed to say on this platform, or I'll have another video taken down. But I really appreciate all of the love over the years, all of the folks that have supported. We had a lot of people that supported our GoFundMe campaigns over the years for the Eric Day celebration. And it really is a special event. Sometimes I wasn't always the happiest behind the scenes because it's a lot of hard work putting this thing on. But whenever it happens, I'll just always appreciate it. I'm so happy that it does go down the way it goes down. So a little later today, I might go back down memory lane a little bit and look at a few videos from years past and get excited about this. It's almost here. 2 weeks. It's like time is flying by. But yeah, in a couple weeks, Eric Day 2023 5th annual is going to be going down. So, man, this has been a wild period. I mean, really just the past 3 years when every time I get on here on YouTube, I just think about all of the opportunities and the challenges. The censorship is just something that's so against my being. I just really don't like censorship, and I'm one of them people where if somebody, there's people that hate me because of the way I look, the way I live, and if they want to if they want to put a video out where they, don't threaten me or my family, but if you want to talk mess, it's like, okay, I won't have you take your stuff down. I might respond or might not, but we're in this weird period in history where folks are so constipated and just you can't say what you want to say. And man, I kind of think back about the golden age. There was the golden age years ago, and of course YouTube is literally going to some of those old videos from when I recorded them in the golden age where you could really express yourself how you want, and they're taking those down. they're getting they're getting strikes and like this is goes against it's been on here since 2008. What you would have think there's something if it was that bad that they would have did something before now, but it is what it is. What's going on? Let's see what's going on. King, thanks for tuning in. What says agreed? Yeah, it's deep. It's definitely deep. So let's bring on my good friend Vadim Voss. And Vadim graduated from the prestigious New York University Stern School of Music, has over 20, or School of Business, and has over 22 years of experience as an entrepreneur, 9 years as a successful crypto trader, investor, technical writer, and educator. He's practiced the Mucusless Diet Healing System for over 5 years and is a member of the Mucus-free Life Research and Development Team. Everybody give it up for Vadim Voss. What is going on, Vadim?
Hey, Professor. Hello, my fellow practitioners. I'm happy to be here. Yeah. It wasn't School of Music, but I did play the flute, in high school. So, that thought did cross my mind at one point. Yeah. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, man. Oh, well, this will be this is an interesting comment to kick it off with. Jim says cured STD with juice fasting and mucusless eating.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm dry fasting right now. It's great. Loving it.
That's the thing. And so we won't go over your whole backstory. If folks want to see, go to episode 50. We get real deep into Vadim, where he came from, the kind of constipated lifestyle that he used to have, and all that kind of stuff. But just kind of give people the brief version of the Vadim Voss story.
Yep. So basically, I was born in Belarus. Chernobyl blew up, so I had to run away to US. Then, I finished junior high school, college here. Kind of went into the 9-to-5 world. That didn't work out because I'm just not a 9-to-5 kind of guy. And I went overseas for 15 years, doing all kinds of entrepreneurial things, construction, cars, trading, while doing crypto at the same time since 2008. Then kind of got homesick, and sick at the same time. Got back, started practicing MDHS, restored my health, and now I'm bringing, financial liberation to everybody, hopefully. So that's kind of the story in a nutshell. Cured all my diseases. You've seen the pictures. I mean, I don't have to repeat it. I look better now, at 44 than I did at, 24. So 20 years later, I'm looking better. It's crazy. I mean, it's magic. The system is definitely magic. No doubt about it. I'm a true believer.
Yeah, it's fascinating how when you start doing this work, you really see how the aging process slows down. Like significantly, it slows down. Your skin starts to improve. Like no matter how great you think your skin was, or if you're the type of person that, I take care of my skin, and you lathering it up with all of this stuff that gets your pores all constipated, but on TV, they say it's good for you. You're exfoliating and you're doing all this stuff. It's like, nah, man, clean your insides up. That's the way. If you want nice skin, you want to slow down the aging process, you got to clean the insides up.
True beauty comes from the inside. This is the fountain of youth. Mucusless Diet Healing System. That's where it's at. You don't have to go into the forest and the jungles and look for that. It's right there in the book for everybody to read and practice. But got to bring that message to the masses as well. Physiological and financial liberation. That's the goal.
Yeah, and that's so. Talk a little bit about your getting into the crypto space. And I think I saw a comment where we'll take we'll take some comments and get into stuff, but talk just a little bit about your background in cryptocurrency. What is decentralized finance? Just to explain it for people why or what we talking about is different from what most people think it is, that this is a whole different
Yeah.
kind of situation. What's going on?
So basically, while I was, doing regular business, trading, real estate, all of that, I had some issues with banks. Basically, they just robbed me. I had a certain balance in my bank account, and all of a sudden, one day I wake up and a zero is missing. And since then, and that was the day Bitcoin started going up like crazy. And I started researching Bitcoin. Like that was about 2008 during, the crisis. And the more I read the white paper, I started researching, I realized, this is revolutionary. It's a whole new kind of money. So, now that I couldn't trust the banks, I basically had to keep my money, in Bitcoin. And then obviously the next logical step would be to start trading Bitcoin. So I got really deep into trading, day trading and investing and, speculating. And yeah, that was tough. I mean, it's psychologically hard. It's risky. I don't recommend trading to anybody. 95% of traders lose money. I'm one of the few that actually made money because I had really good mentors and a good like group of seasoned traders. So I got into that. And then, but it was tough to trade psychologically because sometimes you'd wake up like at 3 at night when my alarm would go off, like when Bitcoin would sit here price levels, and I have to run to the computer and start like adjusting my stops. And yeah, and I like my sleep. Okay, like I need to get my 8-9 hours of sleep. So then Ethereum came on the scene, right? They were like the first whatever currency with smart contracts, and DeFi, came around, right? Which is basically decentralized finance, where instead of like banks and tellers, it's all on blockchain and runs on automated smart contracts, basically. So and you control your funds on yourself, basically, with your own private key. So, and you could, put the money into all these farms, basically lend out your funds to either decentralized exchanges or to other people, and you earn interest, kind of like giving your money to the bank and, getting some kind of APY, like annual percentage return. So I started slowly shifting my trading profits into DeFi, and kind of shifting over to the passive income side. So this way I could just, put the money in, go to bed, wake up next morning, no alerts, no crazy, waking up at 3, 4 a.m. and running to my computer. And yeah, just every day, just getting, a solid passive income on my savings. And that came in real handy when basically my my hardcore entrepreneur, go get a lifestyle caught up to me. You see in the last podcast, the alcohol, the parties, the constant stress, running around. My health just went to crap, and basically I couldn't work. I couldn't run my businesses, and once you stop actively running the businesses go down as well. So it was a good thing that I had my trading and basically that passive income from decentralized finance, dripping in every day, 24/7, 365. So that, so while I was restoring my health and eventually I found Mucusless Diet Healing System and things really started to pick up, that passive income basically supported me while I was doing that. Yeah, see, it's pulling up the shameful pictures.
The this is
Yeah,
all the Vadim
yeah.
before pictures. The
So that was kind of, and then when I came back to US, I got involved, writing some technical copy for like a marketing startup. So I really got into the technology of decentralized finance on a really deep level. And I realized this is the future. Like the banks are the past. The decentralized finance is the future, and that's where it's all going. I mean, just so you understand, one of the top decentralized product DEXs, Uniswap, did 40% more trading volume than Coinbase, the biggest centralized exchange in the world.
hmm,
Once I saw that statistic, I was like, oh man, the centralized exchanges they are getting their asses kicked. Like it's not in the contest anymore.
yeah,
Especially with all the KYC and all your customer procedures and all the anti-money laundering and all this like government censorship, right? These central exchanges are the future. And plus, with all the scandals that came around, like FTX and Voyager and Celsius, all this fake DeFi, all these crypto banks that rob their customers by pretending to be DeFi, like protocols which they were not, then like I totally could see the writing on the wall, like that DeFi is the future. And, and I have the knowledge of it and I have to bring it to people. I have to, educate them on this great opportunity, to make passive income, escape from the banks and get like nice, decent yield on your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, you know,
yeah, like they say, not your keys. What'd you say? Not
not
your
your keys,
keys,
not your
not your
crypto.
crypto.
That's my motto. You have to control your keys. See, when you have your money in the bank, you don't control anything. They control everything. I mean, one click of a button, and look at it here. You got zero. Yeah, go sue the bank. Good luck with that. Trust me, I tried. It didn't work out. Put it this way. Yeah, and then basically that's the story of DeFi, and it's only getting better. I mean, there's more protocols coming in line. The wallets are getting better. I'm working on the educational front. With my course, which once I came back and I got some of my friends into DeFi, and then started getting some of my acquaintances who were asking to teach them into DeFi, and they're starting to pay me. And I realized, I can't like teach 100 people or 1,000 people by myself. I have to find a better way, which was so I decided to create an online course and also a free training that I give to people, which is what I'm doing on Tuesday. I mean, I've completely revamped it in 8 months since our last podcast. It's I have video like demos in it and charts and yeah, like
Yeah, if you came to the last one,
yeah,
come
it's
again,
all,
come to this one. It's a
yeah,
whole different
all different
presentation,
things. Yeah.
whole different thing. I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now to the tap into explosive power of decentralized finance that's going down on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Massive value. You'll be able to leave this program knowing how to do what we're talking about. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna know how to
Take
do it.
notes. I'm gonna reveal all my secrets like this time, like all of them. So you can just like take that training and off you go making money. No problem.
Yeah. And let's see, what is. Yeah, I was just gonna share some DeFi images, decentralized finance,
Yeah.
because what people don't understand that the banks can freeze your money. They can shut down your accounts. They can force
Easily.
you to go someplace else if they don't like. Say they look at some kind of thing you did and they don't like it. It might not have been illegal. It might not have been really anything wrong with it other than they didn't like it, and so they, which I'm talking from experience. I had to change my whole banking situation a couple years ago because bank that I'd been with since I was 15 years old all of a sudden decided we don't. I mean, one, I don't keep a lot of debt. I don't pay a bunch of interest. I pay things off. So they didn't make a lot of money off of me. So I don't know if that was it or what, but they didn't like something. And so in my case, luckily I didn't have anything frozen. I didn't do anything wrong. But I did have to, within a couple weeks, I had to move my assets out and go do something else. And this was right at this time where I was learning about the DeFi. And I'm like, you know what? What if I had 100% control of my assets to where nobody could freeze it, and I could get it when I wanted and use it, and I take the responsibility for it. And that's what Vadim was bringing to the table. And I was like, well, that's up my alley because I'm into freedom. It's one of my core principles to life is freedom, peace, in that order. And so I was like, okay, well, this is for me, the decentralized finance. And once you get into this, because what we're talking about, unless you already know about it, then you're not gonna just probably just figure this out. This isn't something you look online. This is really, at this point, it's really private information in the sphere of the private sector. And oftentimes with private information, you're not learning this from a public institution or these publicly controlled or even the government controlled arms of the propaganda arms, all the CNNs and MSNBC, all that. You're not gonna learn any of this there. The furthest they'll go is they'll talk about Coinbase if they can make it look bad. They'll talk about the centralized outposts as we were talking about. This is not that. This is a whole different thing.
Well, they've been kind of switching more towards positive now because they're overlords like BlackRock and Vanguard. Now they're getting into crypto. I don't know if anybody follows the whole Bitcoin spot ETF application, process. Basically, they're all applying to, bring the Bitcoin to the public through a spot ETF, which is a, electronically traded funds. So you can like buy, shares in a fund that holds physical Bitcoin, through Coinbase. So now BlackRock and Vanguard and Fidelity and Deutsche Bank, they're all filing for like either crypto custodian licenses or, to hold the crypto. So I'm guessing they bought enough Bitcoin and now they gave permission to the mass media that they control to, go a little positive spin. Because I just last week I saw Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, which is the largest fund manager in the world, $10 trillion under management, talking positive about Bitcoin on CNBC. I'm like, whoa, what's going on
Mm.
here? Just 5 years ago, that guy was talking about, oh, Bitcoin is an index of money laundering and criminals, and it's only used for illicit activities. Then fast forward 5 years later, this guy is saying, oh, Bitcoin is great. It's a tool that underbanked can use, on CNBC. So that's crazy. That looks bullish
Yeah.
to me. That's smells like the spring is coming. The winter is kind of almost over. The thaw has begun, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
From
yeah.
this brutal like bear market, which
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I don't mind. Bear markets are great, like for yield farmers, for people who provide liquidity and get returns. That's awesome. Everything is bottom, the prices are stable, and you can just put your money in there and just collect stable returns every day, every month, every year. So it's awesome. I love this bear market. It's basically the time to accumulate and buy it. That's the way I look at
This is
it. It's
this is
saving,
I
saving.
mean, there
Black
is
Friday.
no this will not happen again in history. This is literally a point in history for those that can see that study enough and can see trends, and if you're one of those people that are good at looking at situations and seeing what is coming, then you would know that this is it. Like this is the time right now. Because this is the big one. you know, this is the big one.
Yeah, yeah.
And most people will get there too late because that's what happens. Most people they come right after it all blows up. Then they come
Yeah,
in and they're
well,
like, oh,
yeah.
ah.
When Kramer finally starts to like harp on cryptocurrencies, right? Because
Oh
you
man.
know the meme, right? Inverse Kramer, like whatever the guy says, just do the
Yeah, I
opposite,
was
and you're
gonna say, boy, once
gonna
he
like.
starts doing it, it'd be time to sell at that point. He'll be like, I'm
Yeah,
buying
yeah,
crypto. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
sell,
That's
sell,
my
sell.
top signal. It's like Kramer is
Yeah.
saying buy crypto. I'm out. Like sold. Yeah, Gerard's like bear market. Yeah. Well, listen, you got to know how to pick them. But we're still in the
Well,
bear
here what
though.
Jim said. So he said, I already know DeFi. Let's hear some tips. What coins do you like?
Tips. Well, I mean, my personal theory, and once again, not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, and I'm just talking about my own experience. Not a financial advice, right there. Disclaimer done. Yeah. So some tips. Like I personally think the Moonbeam ecosystem, like all the coins in there, like Stella, Well, like that's Glimmer, the main coin of Moonbeam. I think Polkadot and Moonbeam are going to be the narrative, next bull run, alongside with Ethereum. Like I like both ecosystems, and Bitcoin for the value, right? That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So there you go. There's some tips for you, Jim. And about doing DeFi, I don't know. Are you doing yield farming or are you just like lending, on Avi or something like that? Like what does that mean? Doing DeFi. Like what I teach is, yield farming on Moonbeam, right? Very like niche on Stella Swap, which is, in my opinion, is number one DEX on Polkadot. I'm sure you know about Polkadot. Yeah, yeah. I know all about Pepe. Yeah, all about that. But unfortunately, I missed it because I was too busy working on the training, the course, and just yield farming. I'm more of a Bitcoin ETH, I guess, guy in terms of like accumulation, and I do have portfolio of like Moonbeam tokens because in case that narrative hits, bam, huge gains. But yeah, good job with the paper coin for sure. Yeah, people made crazy money. Some guy made like $5 billion or something on $100 investment. That's like insane. Like ultra risk, ultra rewards. So yeah, good job. I guess that community really pumped the Pepe meme. Especially Arthur Hayes.
Mm. Let's see, Billy asks, are Moreno and Epic Coin the best in privacy coins? Or are there others that are better?
Well, I mean, Monero is great. That's like an old school, OG privacy coin. I mean, even Like, I remember when they were seizing Silk Road funds, the only funds they couldn't find were in Monero,
Mm.
FBI. Like, they were like, we don't know how much Monero. I'm like, that means you ain't got it. Sorry. Yeah. So, yeah, that's Monero is great. I haven't heard about Epic Coin, but I've been hearing about like privacy, like layer twos that are coming out, which are going to be completely shielded on like a blockchain level, like AdStack on for like Ethereum ecosystem. They're building like a fully private layer two, basically blockchain. So that's going to be awesome. I think that's the future. Where like privacy is baked in on the blockchain level, not on like a coin level, right?
Mm.
The all transactions are shielded, not just for like one coin. But yeah, but Monero is great, man. I got a little bag. It's awesome. It's like old school coin. Yep, yeah. Arbitrum and Optimism, man, they've had their own like little bull run, to be honest, in the middle of the bear. Like, yeah, Arbitrum and Optimism, yeah, that's definitely in my bag, OP and ARB, right? Yeah, along with some, Bitcoin layer two tokens like Alex, yeah, and Stacks. I like those too. They're nice. There you go. All the tips,
Mm.
man. I gave
Yeah.
all my secrets. All my whole secret
Yeah.
portfolio is
All right. Yeah.
exposed.
Public. And well, if this is what he's talking about here on the public podcast, imagine what he's going to
Yeah.
be sharing on Tuesday.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's
if you want to come, whether you're experienced crypto trader or slash
yeah.
investor
But this
slash,
is all
or you
like,
don't know anything of what we're talking about. You're like layer two, what's that? Then come to the training. Will be all clarified
well, I
at the
mean,
training.
this is what Jim and I are talking about. That's more like trading, speculating, accumulating, selling off. What I teach is different. It's yield farming, which is just getting, using crypto to get passive income in fiat, in regular money, in dollars or euros or whatever it is, in any market, bear or bull. Because,
Mhm.
when all the coins are flat and you need the money to accumulate, that's where yield farming comes in. You get the passive income from that and you put it into the coins that you like, or you take it out and pay rent with it. That's great too. you know
Right.
you could practice
Right.
the diet on an island and just collect your yield once a week and cash it out into the local bank and go back to the beach. There
Right.
you go. That's my goal. Eventually I'll get there.
Right. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, the frozen
Yeah,
accounts. We just went through this, what was all the truckers thing up in Canada,
yeah,
where the banks
crazy.
they took the video of people protesting their here it'd be a constitutional right. I don't know a whole lot about Canada. But but it's a human right to redress your government, let them know, hey, this isn't working for us. We're out here, but they took video feeds and looked at folks and saw like, oh, there's a trucker, there's people, and literally banks froze their accounts for protesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
They,
that's
they they went even further than that actually. They froze the bank accounts of all the people that donated to the truckers. So I
true.
read a
Yeah.
story how one woman donated like $30 to the truckers fund, and they froze all of her bank accounts with like thousands of dollars, left her basically like unable to pay rent and food, and she had like three children. I mean, it's ridiculous. The freedom, democracy over there. Like, come on now. Yeah, it's crazy. But I guess Canadians better get on that DeFi train too, and
Yeah.
get some Bitcoin, get some ETH, and control their own funds, at all times. I mean, I don't trust the government. So I mean, why would I? Look at their track record. I mean, come on. Even in US, they're doing the same things to people just arbitrarily. Some people like doing crypto, transfers, and they just bam, just close their accounts for no reason. They just say, "Oh, we don't want your business anymore." I'm not sure if that's what happened to you, Professor, but I've heard some stories. That's probably what it
Mhm.
is. Oh, okay, like that's
I
what I'm talking
mean,
about.
it's deep, and it's a whole rabbit hole when you start really going down these financial institutions and the corruption, the invalidity. I mean, a lot of this stuff is actually invalid, but people think that it's real, so it's
Yeah,
it's perception is everything. It's like, oh, this piece of paper is really this is important. It's like, not really. They printing that stuff out of thin air.
I mean, what about the whole situation with like Silicon Valley Bank? and with all those banks starting with P's, right? I mean, most people like don't know like the whole situation, and if you like, I can explain like what happened. So, so basically, they closed these banks because these banks bought the treasury bonds, right? When they were
Hmm.
still, when the rate was still like 0% or 1%, right? And because the Fed told them we're not going to raise rates, right? So they're like, okie dokie, I'm going to take $30 billion, buy all this like 5-year treasuries and just hold it, right? But then what happened? They started raising the rates, right? And when the rates on the bonds go up, here comes my traditional finance background. I know both sides. Basically the bond prices just crater, like they crater. So all these bonds they were holding, like they just fell like a stone. So the bank became insolvent because now you're holding $20 billion, let's say, in 5-year treasuries, right? The rates go up. Now your 20 billion fund, like whatever stack, is 3 billion, right? And now you don't have that money. And then people, hear things, and all these venture capitalists started, doing a run on the bank, and they're like,
Right.
"Give me my money." And the SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, didn't have the money. Why? Because in order to get the money, they had to cash out the treasury bonds, which are now worth like 1/8. So,
Right.
so get
Right.
this, that's not the worst part. The worst part is they came in and they blamed this whole thing on crypto. On crypto. And
Hmm.
all crypto did, it was USDC, like Circle. They had $3 billion in their bank. That's it. That's all crypto did. And they were one of the victims who couldn't get the money out, which was insane. So they turned it around to the broad public and said, "Oh no, it's the crypto that caused the bank insolvent, not the freaking bonds that went like belly up because we raised the rates like idiots." Like
Right.
it's
Right.
crazy. Yeah, and then they use the same excuse to close another bank. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry, I'm spazzing out. But yeah, like Presidium or something, some other P bank. I can't remember. But whatever. Bank that was fine. And they just came in and froze it because they're trying to basically do Operation Choke Point 2.0.
Hmm.
Any bank that banks the crypto industry, like enterprise level, they're trying to close it down and just, make sure they don't do any business with crypto. Yeah. Well, that's not working out too well for them. I mean, you heard about the latest decision, SEC versus XRP, Ripple. It was a huge case, and SEC lost. Basically, the judge declared that the token XRP is not a security. So now all these frivolous lawsuits that they're
Hmm.
pursuing against all these crypto companies, they're nothing. Like there's no teeth
Hmm.
anymore, and that means
Yeah.
SEC doesn't have jurisdiction over crypto at all if they're not securities, right? And they should go back to policing their little stocks, their little bonds. Yeah. Where were they when like FTX robbed people for like $8 billion? Oh, I know. SBF was having lunch with Mr. Gary Gensler. That's where he was. That's
Hmm.
what was happening.
Right.
Yeah, he met with the guy like 6 times, and it turns out he was a huge scammer. He had like this exchange on headquartered in Bahamas, taking customers' money and just stealing them, funding his lavish lifestyle with weird parties. I'm not gonna get into that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a whole.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird. Yeah. Weird
Yeah,
party.
let's not. Yeah.
Yeah. And
There you go.
yeah, this is the image from No More Mandates Convoy 2022, and boy, they was freezing the heck out of everybody's accounts,
Yeah.
just shutting folks down. And I'm like, man, it's we have to be working to emancipate ourselves from that entire situation. And that's something that me and Vadim and Reese and other members of the research and development team, so some of you don't know, and I'll put a link here, is we're actually, it's been 2 years since we've accepted applications for people to join the Mucus-free life research and development team. And so we have a really close knit group of folks that get a lot of work done. This
Yeah.
isn't, we're not just in there messing around. Like, we're really trying to put together plans for the future. And one of those plans is to get some land, get some property, be growing
Yeah.
our own food. But
ASAP.
yeah, it's yeah, exactly, as soon as possible. But more than that, because there's other people that's doing stuff like that,
Yes.
but not what we're talking like
Not
this stuff.
not like what we're
Not
planning.
what
Yes.
we're
I don't think
talking
anybody's
about
doing
doing.
that.
Yeah, yeah. We got some plans. Like, we won't talk about all of that, but that's the mindset that we need to be thinking about. thinking about liberation. How can we position ourselves to need to deal with this wretched pus-based financial system as little as possible? It's like,
Yeah.
all right, we'll do business as much as we need to, but then it's all about transitioning out of that, creating our own ecosystem, our own institutions, that creating our own space to really to live how we want to live, do what we want to do, this outside of this bacon and eggs. Like, this whole thing was built on bacon and eggs and big old farts and stuff. Like, this is it's
Yeah,
disgusting.
this
This
system
is
is like super fragile, It's like walking on eggshells, you tip it a little bit, bam, everything just starts falling. Like you saw in the, Silicon Valley Bank. Fed had to step in and basically make all the depositors whole, right? Because
right.
otherwise the faith in the system would just be ruined. Because people would say, wait a second, so anything I have over 250,000 FDIC insurance is basically gone, so I can't put more than 250K into the bank. And even if I put that in, like, where's the guarantee that the fund has enough money to cover me, right? Because it's fractional banking. It's just, funny money. It's like for every dollar, there is $10, funny money floating around in the system. That's what they do,
Right.
And then when the bank's, run starts, then the money becomes worthless because people understand these papers are backed by nothing, Unlike, for example, Bitcoin, which is backed by hash rate with energy, right? And you can always like take it with you and leave to another country, and you'll be just fine. So yeah, I mean, maybe in the future we'll have the mucusless community bank, right? Where all the banking
Yeah.
is done by Bitcoin, all the deposits are held one to one. We're not gonna like loan your money out. We're not gonna do anything crazy. You can like check the balances anytime transparently on the blockchain, so you know exactly that all the money is there. But that might be coming in the future. Obviously, Bitcoin backed, right, with Lightning payment channels.
Right.
That's gonna, yeah.
And I would say, because then there's the old model, like the old hippie model, that a lot of folks kind of come out of that follow us, that's coming out of the Arnold Ehret tradition and that kind of thing, where it's like the renunciation of the world. And I'm it's like the heart's in the right place. That was cool in
Yeah.
the 60s, but it the reason that doesn't work, there's a bunch of reasons why that doesn't work, and why I'm saying this is the direction that we need to go to. I've always been into technology. Enema bag is my favorite piece of technology,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I like computers. I like the things that we have when we know how to control them and they're not controlling us. See, a lot of this is cell phones, and this kind of, like, I still treat my cell phone like it's a phone from the 1980s. You can't just call and probably get a hold of me. Like, you call, leave a message. Back in the 80s, people leave
Yeah,
a message
the
and
beepers,
beepers, and yeah, they
and then you
leave a
call back from a
message.
payphone.
Yeah, you call back a day later or so.
Sometimes.
It's that expectation wasn't there. Now people expect like that immediate, like, oh, you get the message. And now it's like you gotta put up your own boundaries and not be used by the technology. But it's just tools. Is all it is. It's tools. There's nothing inherently evil or wrong with them. It depends on your consciousness, your plans, what it is you're trying to do with the technology. And so where we're at is we got to be able to protect ourselves or wherever we're going, because there's plenty of situations in the past. The most peaceful people on the planet didn't want no drama. They wanted to just live their lives and be naked or do whatever it is that they were doing.
Mm-mm.
But when you're dealing with pus and mucus heads out here, with they'll come into a peaceful group of people like that and rape
Yep,
everybody, pillage everybody, murder everybody.
that's what they like.
So it's a nice sentiment to say, well, we'll just go out into the woods and the wilderness and grow a bunch of fruit and just be off the grid and ignore society. But what happens when whoever GI Pus Joe comes on looking like, we like those, but we like those bananas, like we like everything you're growing here. We think that we're gonna take it,
Yeah, and we like
and
your
what
land,
are
we
you
like
gonna
your
do
house.
about it? you know and so So that has to be part of the plan. And so one of the things that we talk about in the research and development team is this concept of resource-based economy. And this was Vadim brought this to the table based on a book that was written back in the 70s. And tell people just a little bit about that concept. Just what does that mean?
Well, it's the book is the things money can't buy. If you want to check it out on Amazon, I think they have it. It's written by Jacques Fresco, and this guy basically spent his whole life. I mean, he passed away, but he lived to be, I think, 104, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So he came up with this whole concept of extreme abundance, where basically, you put together the people, the resources, and the technology to create, basically abundance. So like I'm going to the future, but basically like robots do all the work. AI controls the robots, and we just hang out and enjoy the fruits of their labor, and that's it. And there is no need for money because nothing is scarce. Like money basically enforces artificial scarcity. In reality, there's no like lack in the world, right? There's no deficit in the world. There's only like the artificial scarcity created by money. Right? I mean, there's plenty of land, there's plenty of food, there's plenty of energy. And I mean, in that book, he lays down the whole case. I mean, think about it. If you just take 1% of the land in the Sahara Desert and you fill it up with solar panels, that will power the whole world. There you go. Free energy, unlimited energy. And then you take that energy, the unlimited energy, you put a bunch of desalination and distillation plants next to the oceans, and there you go. Unlimited distilled water. Drink away, buddy. And then once you have the energy in the water, guess what? You can just create unlimited food. You can grow unlimited fruits, right? That's it. That's the food. And what do you need the money for then? It's like selling air, right? There's plenty of air. I mean, they tried to make us pay for air,
Yeah, they really want to.
With the whole, muzzle thing, where it's like, oh, wear a muzzle or pay like a $300 fine. So, they did try to make us pay for the air. But that's basically the resource-based economy. But the trick is, the rub, in order to get to that resource-based economy in this money-based economy, you need to make the money so you can buy all these things, all the tech, the solar panels, you get what I'm saying, to do it. So, it's like a transition. So I think the best way to do that is to transition from money-based economy using Bitcoin as the bridge to the resource-based economy.
Mm-hmm.
See? So for example, within our, Mucusless arid village, well, the village could be an island, whatever it's going to be, right? There could be no money. It could be a resource-based economy between all the members of that community. But there's like a communal wallet that's based on Bitcoin, and we can buy whatever we want with the Bitcoin in that wallet from the external world, like their resources, construction, technologies, whatever it is, right? So that's basically the idea behind that. I mean, check it out. It's 2 books, actually. One is The Best Things Money Can Buy, and then I can't remember the name of the other one, but it's also by Jacques Fresco. It's like the day in the life of the people of the future. It's like 300 years in the future, and it's like the lives of one man and a woman, and they're like making fun of like regular people, like they put people who are like frozen for like 300 years on an island, and they observe them. They observe the jealousy, the greed, I'm guessing past mucus, consumption, how they fight with each other, for like resources, even though there's plenty of everything. Yeah, it's really like mind opening, this stuff. Yeah, and it makes sense. Like I totally believe that's the case. If the whole world was like this, if the whole world was, I mean, they have plenty of resources to make it like this, but then you lose control. That is the problem for them. They need
the key for this, and this is, as usual, the thing that Jacques didn't have together, is the physiology piece.
Yeah.
Because it's a great idea, but will never work as long as the society is based in pus and mucus eating. Because you're too diametrically opposed to nature to move forward into an Atlantean level existence, an existence where you can have this abundant technology, everything all your needs met, and yet and you're not harming the earth. That is impossible under a pus and mucus based regime.
Yeah, they just can't imagine it. Their mind can't handle that because a society like this, everybody is basically equal, and everybody has the lifestyle of a billionaire nowadays, right? Like probably even better than the billionaire, because the billionaire needs crazy security, right? So that other people don't rob him from his resources, right? But when it's abundant and everybody has the same access to the same resources, nobody has to be scared of other people. Like nobody's gonna rob you. Rob you for what? There is no money. You can just go and take whatever you want. Just press a button and the robots will make you, new pair of sneakers and get it to you within 15 minutes. You don't need to actually go there and get 10 pairs of sneakers, 20 cars, and 10 houses, because you have only one butt. You can't put it in the 20 houses simultaneously, or the cars. Like people do nowadays. They just flex. Oh, look at me. I got 10 cars. Oh, look at me. Like Andrew Tate and
Yeah, my
people
Bugatti.
my Bugatti, like, oh my God. Yeah, I used to be like that too, like as you see on the pictures with my beady eyes and all, and that was my whole pursuit, was to get that money, to get, there's millions. And then I got them, and my health basically got destroyed. And then I lost the money too, because, like, it wasn't about money anymore, because when you're in that situation, you don't care about money. You just care about getting better and making the pain stop, So
Right.
yeah, that was a real hard lesson for me to learn, unfortunately, and I had to learn it. So I'm not sorry I went down like that, because otherwise I might be, in the ditch somewhere, like, a little too much whiskey or vodka, right? And bam, nobody in the world is gonna revive you. So I think it's for the best that I lost that, dirty money, and now I'm gonna make new clean money and use that money for the good of the Mucusless Diet Healing System community, to build this like island and put the resource-based economy in effect, and then we'll change the world. Because if we show the world, what's possible, right? Like we could be the blueprint for the next level of civilization, right? The level up,
Right.
right? Because right now people don't even understand what this is or how it works or what could be. And once they see it, it's going to be like the hardest drug in the world. Once they see it, once they experience it, they would never be able to go back to that, famine mentality, to that scarcity land. They'll be like horrified, like, what the hell? I have to pay for food. I have to pay for rent. I have to, like, if I don't pay, they're going to put me on the street and I can't like eat anything, no fruits, no vegetables. Like that's going to be just unfathomable to like somebody who lives in the resource-based economy for 20, 30 years. They're going to be laughing. They're like, what? What do you mean? There's plenty of everything. How could you have people starving in US? The richest country in the world right now has all these homeless people starving and doing crazy drugs and being zombies outside. I mean, what the hell is going on? And meanwhile, we got fat cats like Gates and Bezos, like shooting off, penis-shaped rockets into space that cost like $100 million. Like, it's crazy. It's just lunacy. That's what it is. You got, I'm not gonna talk about, those things. I don't want to get Spira issues on his channel. So yeah, let's switch the topic. We don't want to blackball, talk bad about the sponsors of YouTube and they're little overlords. I mean, it's okay.
But yeah, like
the zombie like videos. It's crazy. Look at San Francisco. It's insane.
Yeah, this is normality in the world of pus and mucus based living. This is the result. This is the Shangri-La. This is what you get. You get a handful of people that live in. They try to make themselves as comfortable as they can be, because inside they are falling apart. Mentally they're falling apart. Physically they're falling apart. Spiritually they're falling apart. Then these are just the folks that they're on the same level oftentimes as the people that are in these mansions and in these places and get all this respect and you figured out a way to make money, but physiologically and mentally they're at the same level as these folks here. It's just
but what are they doing with that money? They're not using their resources to bring like better future to others. They're just using it to buy yachts and like multiple yachts and flex and make their own.
Well, they might clean some of their money with a foundation or two.
Right. No.
Institute a foundation, and let's clean the money here. And we're doing great work. Look at all this that we've done to help people. How many of these people have been helped?
Donate to cancer research.
Right.
Research. Like, we all know the cause of cancer is just eating crap. That's basically what it is, along with the crap they pour from the skies and other things and the water and all of that they're doing. But nobody wants to address that. Yeah, it's let's research cancer. It's a cancer virus that we need to like defeat. Yeah, good luck
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. I mean, the only way, if for anybody that wants the answer, I will boldly tell you what the answer is to fix all of this here that we're looking at, because people get, how are we going to fix homelessness? How are we going to fix, first and foremost, every one of these people in this that's up here have the potential to clean themselves up physiologically. I'm not talking about just getting off of drugs. That's not cleaning yourself
That's
up.
not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. You go in like, man, if we had a whole operation set up with like I mean, we talk just like a big,
Big old boot camp.
big old boot camp
Yeah,
where
Brother Air as the drill sergeant,
drill
the enemies
sergeant,
full hands.
man, if we pumping in just gallons and gallons of lemon water into these
Oh yeah.
people's colons and just straight, man, just start cleaning this stuff out.
Colonic machines for
You
days.
could change, you could clean up this whole situation, man. This whole, the way it looks, the way, the vibration of it, the way it feels, all of the maladies and the unnecessary diseases. Stuff is
Oh yeah,
unnecessary.
you saw that, right? They're now doing drugs that rot them from the
Oh
inside. They
yeah.
calling it the zombie, the crocodile, like something. It's some super cheap, super potent, like synthetic drug. You take it, and your body starts to rot from the inside. I mean, how freaking insane is that, man? That's like peak lunacy right there, in the clown world. Like, can you imagine somebody deciding voluntarily to take a drug that he knows will rot him from the inside?
Wow.
And they know this. These people know this is going to happen. It's not like, oh my God, what's going on? No, they know this and they do it to themselves. I mean, come on. It's like taking a knife and stabbing yourself repeatedly in the leg and then like, oh no, my leg is bleeding. What's going on? That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, look at this.
These folks are on. I mean, this is almost looking like gangrene. This stuff is, they're not gonna.
Silazine,
They're gonna lose their legs.
Yeah, that's some gangrene right there. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
it's their minds, like they need to clean themselves up, and then the clean blood goes to the brain and you wake up. I mean, I've experienced this myself. Obviously, I never took, flesh corroding drugs. I wasn't that insane, but still when you consume alcohol plus some mucus, your brain is completely foggy. It's like you're in some kind of dream, and you're making all kinds of bad decisions, right? Like now I feel great. Like I feel like clarity, right? Like the sobriety, which is amazing feeling. Sobriety is the best drug. That's the ironic part. Sobriety is the best. I was never really sober before. I was always either eating pus, eating mucus, drinking alcohol. Like, I was always on something. never like truly sober. You know how people are. Drink a beer there, drink a martini here, cocktail in the bar, and then it takes like 2 weeks or something for alcohol to come out of your brain. So you're never like sober. Not really. You're not like drunk technically, but you're not sober either. Man, it's been like almost 6 years since I had any alcohol. Like none. I just don't want it anymore. It's not like I don't even need to use my willpower anymore. That's the thing. I just don't want it. Like it looks like bleach to me. It's like, oh, it's like, here, you want some, and trust me, I get offered alcohol all the time. When I network for business, when I go to like events, like I went to this, Moonbeam event, and I think I got offered alcohol 8 times. 8. Everybody said, come on, man, take a shot, have a beer. I'm like, I don't do that. I don't want it. It's not like I'm forcing myself and depriving myself. Why would I drink poison? I'm okay. I'd rather eat a mango. I'd rather eat some nice durian, like instead of like, drinking poison and then trying to recover from that poison. And then your brain gets all like foggy and, you have low energy for weeks. Right. So why would I do that to myself?
Yep.
I don't get
it. And that's the thing. I mean, they just create this environment and culture where it's acceptable. Drink the alcohol, eat a little pus over here, because a lot of the what's that?
It's encouraged, not even accepted.
Oh yeah, it's encouraged. It's expected. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's like, what? You don't drink? Not drinking? What the hell?
Yeah.
It's the holidays. Pressure. Come on, man, drink some champagne. It's the New Year's, Bam. I'm like,
they say live a little. It's really like die a little. It's really what.
Yeah, that culture, man. That's what it is. That culture. They celebrate drinking poison. They celebrate taking, flesh corroding drugs, apparently. right?
Right.
That's that's what's going down. I mean, it's insane, and I understand how it goes. And I mean, and the way to clean it up is, to have people practice the system, and but the deeper cause of all of that is basically the society we live in. It's so uncomfortable. There's such level of severe discomfort that people turn to drugs to numb the pain. That's what it is. It's not the drugs themselves that are addictive. It's the environment, because there was a study once, when there was a Vietnam War. I don't know if I told you about it. Basically, soldiers went over there in Saigon and they got hooked on heroin, right? Like
Mm.
90. And so they were like, okay. So they brought the ones that got addicted back home, and 95% of them who went to rehab stayed clean after they got
Mhm.
out. And then they tried to do the same in Saigon, and 95% of the people relapsed.
Mm.
See, and why? What was the critical like key? The environment. See, because when it's easy to get that drug in any corner, when you're in Vietnam in Saigon, you just go to that corner, get some heroin. It costs like $2 because they grow it right there.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
easy. But when you're back home, you can't get it. So it's not easily available. See, that's what I
Right.
mean. When Brother Heroes talk about like the mucusless environment, right? When you have like 10, 20, 100 square miles with no pus and mucus, and you have only the people who are mucus free around you, then it's a whole different energy, the whole different vibration. As you can see, if you come to Day, that's
Mhm.
basically what it is. It's like a miniature version of that. And when you're there, you have no cravings. You don't care. You don't want any pus. You don't want any mucus. You just want to hang out with your fellow practitioners. And that's it. And I experienced this myself. And everybody who came to Arid, they experienced this. So they know what I'm talking about. You know? And if the whole world was like this, then people wouldn't need the drugs. They wouldn't need pus and mucus. They would just rather, enjoy arts, enjoy swimming, enjoy sports, enjoy, relations with each other. And that would be the thing to do. Sobriety would be the default, not the poison yourself for some Christmas traditions or stuffing yourself with turkey on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, as Professor says. Like, yeah,
Right.
it's crazy. Like once I realized this, I'm like, oh my God, we gotta build this space. We gotta make this community, get this island going where it's gonna be like that. And obviously when we're there, we're gonna need to protect ourselves from the pus and mucus world outside of ourselves, because once they see how good we have it, they're gonna wanna, come in and either destroy it or take it. That's just how it goes. That's what they did to the Indians. That's what they did to, the Aztecs, the Incas, because those people were still eating pus and mucus, but they were not as bad as the Europeans, right? The hardcore like pus and mucus people. And look what happened. They came in, diseases wiped them out, and then, the colonizers did the rest basically. They finished the job. Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, my little rant is over. I'm off the soapbox. Yeah. Speaking
Got a
of air day.
little air day inspiration here. Just some
Yeah,
random
good times.
pictures. you know, he's the
Brother
brother
Air
half death
pimping.
culture survivor.
Man, where you keep getting all these cool hats, man? I keep asking for one, like you never guess me. I want at least to clean that ass hat, but you never hook me up. I guess I'm gonna have to do a special order online or something. Create a line of hats. Don't really wear hats though, but I'll wear that one.
Yeah, there goes Reese right here.
Yes, our
Boy,
senior farmer, our in-house agricultural expert and gunsmith. Yeah.
right, right.
That's Reese's. That's gonna be Reese's role, in our community. Build out the underground armory like in John Wick, and set up all this, fields of fruits and vegetables. It's just growing, and then automate it with robotics and AI, and have them do all the work, and we just hang out on the beach and get all the freshest and best fruits carted right to us, basically. By
Right.
robotic waiters. That's my vision. I'm projecting that
Hmm.
into the world.
Right. We got Trayvon and Anthony. Trayvon's definitely gonna be there this year at the end of the month, and we remember this.
Oh yeah,
This
baby.
was
The king of fruits, the tastiest fruit in the whole wide world. The amazing magical durian. Yeah. If you haven't
yeah,
tried it, you're
the
missing out.
durian. Yeah, this was the durian experience with Eli. He got us all
Yeah.
all plugged in. And
Yeah, we even had the durian banana,
durian,
surprise.
yeah, durian, baked banana, and
Applesauce.
applesauce with
Yeah,
dates. It's
with
just,
dates, man. That was something, man. That was yeah. There, no, that's not
yeah,
it. That's just straight up durian. Yeah, brother Air tried it for the first time. Professor tried it. Reese tried it. I've had durian before when I was in 2 months in Thailand and Bali after that. Yeah, like Asians love durian, man. Like if you go to like Indonesia or Malaysia, they have whole like all you can eat durian places where you go in and there's like 250 kinds of durian. You pay just $150 and it's all you can eat, as much
mm,
durian as you can stuff. It's not much though because it's pretty fatty. So if you're transitioning or you're trying to stay mucus free, durian is not the thing. Like you gotta
mm.
that's more like a dessert. Eat sparingly. Don't overeat. But yeah, man, durian is amazing. That's also in the business plans. Bringing durian to the United States because everybody's sleeping on durians.
Yep. Yeah, so this is all Eric Day last year on this is the Sunday where we would go to Whetstone Park and just hang out, have a nice mucus-free get-together.
Yeah,
Whole different
dying.
reality. I mean, it's just a
Yeah,
whole different experience when you get a group of us together, group of people practicing the mucusless diet. Whole other thing, man. You can't really just talking about it. You don't get it unless you're there and you feel
yeah,
it for yourself, and you're like, oh wow, like this is, and you get to really feel what the future could be and is gonna be.
yeah.
If we have
It will
anything
be.
to do about it. And so in the chat, I'm gonna go ahead and put if you're interested in joining us this year, potentially joining us this year at the 2023 Era Day, click sign up, well, or fill out the application, and we'll be in touch this week. If you've already filled one out, we'll be reaching out this week and getting everything kind of solidified and hooked up for this year. But yeah, it's a whole different reality.
Yeah, it's
Whole
gonna it's
different
gonna be off the
reality.
hook, man. There's gonna be durian tasting. The Berdarian Ensemble is making a comeback. Historical 20-year anniversary performance. That's gonna be going down in the mini mansion. So that's gonna be wild. We might stream a little bit of that live to everybody who doesn't make it, but to get the full experience, obviously you have to be there. So yeah, that's gonna be wild. It's gonna be lots of fun.
Yeah, this is actually I'd have posted this picture. I kind of like this. This was I did a food prep
Yeah,
demonstration. I did some baked banana surprise demonstration, and handful of people that were there got a chance to eat some Professor Spira created and prepared baked banana surprise, and people lost their mind. They're eating and they're
yeah.
like, oh, like especially people that never had it before. They had read about it and they're like, eh. Then they tried it and they're like, I got to go make this right now. Is there any more of this? Like it went so quick, because I thought that I made a lot because I was like, well, it probably won't,
Yeah,
and it was gone. It was like,
yeah.
put
Yeah,
it
and
up. It was like,
unlike durian one, this one is mucus free, so that's great, man. You can eat
yeah,
that
yeah.
anytime.
And the baked banana surprise and just cooked fruit in general. I mean, that's something that people really, really sleep on. They unless
Yeah,
you're in the community and you just plug into our content and you understand the benefit of what this can do to you when you so we had with this one we had the baked banana, we baked a bunch of apples and had the baked
that
banana
was great.
with the apples, yeah. And yeah, eventually, so something these are these are actually first time I'm looking at some of these pictures. I'm like, oh, these are pretty good. I need to post some of this stuff up. I know I kind of dropped the ball last year. Really, the past couple years, I get overwhelmed with the amount of content that we get
Yeah,
from the Air Day, and so. But I'm working on it. I want to get some of this stuff out. Really would like to get some stuff out before Air Day over these next couple weeks. We'll see if I'm able to do it. But yeah, this is
Yeah.
breaking of the banana here. That's a whole process where you get the baked banana and then you cut it. You see over here in the with the how black the outside gets, but it's not burnt. You take the outside off and the
Yep.
inside is so sweet and
Yeah. All
juicy
that
and
starch is
warm.
out.
What's that?
All that starch gets turned into nice, grape sugar.
Oh
Bam.
yeah, oh yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I've been practicing also my little 4x4 system where I, do 4 phases, 4 days each, into the
Hmm.
fast and out of the fast. Like mucus lean, mucus, mucusless cooked, mucusless, raw, fruits, bam, water fast, and then in reverse. So I've been kind of practicing that, my little, transitions, so to speak, micro transitions, in and out of fast, in and out of dry fast, in and out of water fast. Yeah, gonna come out of my dry fast probably in 2 days or so and start eating fruits, then start eating, mucusless raw, and start eating, mucusless like cooked. I don't know about mucus lean. I might just, go right back into it, like back into the water fast or dry fast. Yeah. Might put that into an app later, for beginners. Like, here you go. Check that out. Yeah, man. Lots of presentations
Yeah.
last year. Like, interesting
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, some good, and like I said, I want to get them up. I want to get there was some good presentations. I just had to think if there's did I give a presentation that would get me banned on here. I definitely did 2 years ago at the 20. I was just
Yeah.
looking back at a clip of the 2020 one, and I was like, boy, I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
I
The
could I
one with the
could barely
masks?
put any of
Nah.
that. It would
Nah, nah.
be.
Don't put that up on YouTube, Professor.
I
That that
know. I'm
that
like,
that'll be a
man, I
mistake.
can't do any of this.
Can't do that. Yeah. You might have to put it up on some kind of private channel or some other platform of yours that you own. that
Yeah,
that'll
yeah. I might
that'll
just
work.
have to.
Yeah. Come up with some ninja type of way.
Right. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
where do a you post up. I could post up a teaser and be like, if you actually want to watch this video, click here,
Yeah. Yeah.
and come off of YouTube
Yeah.
and get a chance to really see.
Yeah. Maybe put it up on like Vimeo, like a private link with a password. I think that'll work.
Right.
It's Kareen organizing things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the.
Everything's in 2 weeks, man. Can't believe it. It's
I
like
know it's
time
like.
went by so quick. I'm like, I guess when you're super busy and working and running around doing multiple like things, you just like bam, look up. It's like 2 weeks left. I'm like, wow, that's great. Good thing I got my tickets already.
Oh, this is the signed. Where me and brother Air signed. We did a raffle. We
Yeah.
raffled off some signed enema
I won.
bags. Yeah.
I got one.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, that's what I really wanted this year. It's a good bag. For sure. People are pissed. They thought it was some insider thing, like, oh, he's part of the team, so that's why he got the bag. I'm like, no,
Like,
sorry to
no, that was.
disappoint. I won it fair and square. I put the, paper in there. It was like, shaking in front of everybody, and the paper was taken out blindly. So no, I did not cheat. I got it fair and square. Yeah. Johnny gave an interesting presentation, I remember, on how like his kids were taken by the Child Protective Services and that whole thing, that whole
Hmm.
bit. That was
Yeah.
crazy, man. Like I didn't know anything about things like that, because I don't have children of my own, so I guess I never, encountered this kind of thing where they just go in your house and take your children. Like what? Like in what world is that okay? Like, some government agency just comes and take your kids just because you don't want to like, feed them with meat, for example, right? They're
Right.
like, oh no, he's not getting protein. Look, he's so sickly, he's so underweight. Yeah, based on their standards, right?
Right.
Like based on our standards, he's not underweight, he's normal weight. And the other children are swollen and and overweight, right? But that's can't really persuade him in that, especially if you live in California, then you're kind of, or New York, where
Right.
I reside, unfortunately, still. I'm looking though into the great state of Tennessee or Florida or Arizona. We'll see. Arizona's a little too dry, so yeah, can't really grow any durians there. So
Right.
yeah, but
Yeah.
our
Yeah. We.
MC of choice. The
Yeah,
master of
yeah.
ceremonies.
Like I said, yeah, people haven't seen any. I've been sitting on all this content.
Yeah,
There's all
man,
kinds
sitting
of
in those
stuff
gold
people
mines.
haven't seen. This is yeah, brother Air. I think he's about to. Oh yeah, this is Sakura's,
Cora is doing her thing.
and she did like a whole enema yoga demonstration, like how to.
Yeah, like who can do that, in pus and mucus world at this age, like
Right,
this. Somebody would do that, it's over. Like, break their back, they'll be wheeled out in the wheelchair. And look at Sakura, she looks great. There you go. There's the living proof of the efficacy of the Mucusless Diet Healing System right there. I mean, how much more
right,
proof do you need? It's
right.
unbelievable. Yeah, look at this. I can't even do that. Okay, like, I'm on 44, and the core is in better shape than I am. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
She's
she
climbing trees. She's
climbed
like,
trees, man.
yeah, I
That
can't even
blew her
climb
mind.
that. I'm like, Jesus, what the hell's going on there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
look at this, man. I can't do that. Man,
She does this
I gotta
every
get, I
day.
gotta,
She
I gotta
does
get in the
her
gym,
yoga
man.
practices, and
I gotta get on that,
yeah, I
man.
mean, just whole different. I mean, just she lives in a whole different universe.
Yeah, that's a mucusless elder right there.
That is a
That's how
beautiful
that's how
elder.
elders have to be. That is a
Yeah,
normal elder. Doing
right,
yoga, climbing trees, not sitting in a wheelchair in a nursing home, shitting themselves in a depend diaper.
right,
Completely
right.
helpless, getting punched in the face by the orderlies. Like that's the future that other people are going towards, and they don't realize that. Man, whenever I get a
Yeah.
craving, whenever I need some motivation, I just imagine myself in a
Mm.
wheelchair in a nursing home, shitting myself and eating crap and just getting punched in the face. Craving gone. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Pro tip from Vadim. And just imagine that. And you're gonna clear yourself of any craving real quick. It's like, depend diapers at 16? No thanks. I'm good. Yeah. But that's the world, right? They kind of brainwash you from the start. Oh, you're gonna be old and infirm, and your children are gonna have to take care of you. You're gonna have to go to the nursing home. Like, no. How about I'm gonna be 150 years old and surfing? Huh? How's that? I like that better. And then climbing trees with Sakura, right? Picking like coconuts off the palm trees. I like that future better, personally.
Right.
You know.
And you talking about, and that was actually last year's presentation.
Yeah,
Mine was
yeah. Speaking of.
speaking of the whole man, that
Man,
nursing home,
just the views in there, man.
industrial
Like, what?
complex, just yeah, this was that video of this just let's just beat up an old woman in a she said something I didn't like, or she was let's just beat her
Yeah,
up
like what the
because we
hell?
can. We'll just beat her up.
Yeah, man, that's somebody's mother. That's somebody's
Yeah, I mean
grandmother,
that's the tender,
right?
loving care that you can expect to get in all of our great nursing home facilities.
Yeah,
When you relinquish your power and your position, and you had a chance to not relinquish.
yeah. And a lot of them don't have the financial means to not be in that nursing home.
Right.
And that's where physiological liberation and financial liberations both come in. That's why we always say you have to have both. You know, like if you don't have any money and you're at the mercy of your children and they put you in this nursing home, you don't really have a say, right? They just put you in there and that's it. They decide for you basically, right?
Right.
And like Professor, I remember that presentation. They take away all your assets. You have to basically like sign over all your assets to this nursing home, and then they can
Yeah.
just abuse you and
Yeah.
do whatever
To
they
the
want
well,
with you.
to the state, because it's this Medicaid trip, this Medicare,
Yeah,
Medicaid kind of trip, where if you can't pay out of pocket, and you end up needing to be in one of these facilities, the facility that my aunt was in, she was paying almost $15,000 a
damn,
month
that's expensive,
for
man.
just horrible care. It's not like you would think $15,000 a month. Like, what kind of apartment could that get you?
Fifty
It's
thousand
like,
dollars. Jesus,
I mean,
you'd
you
be living
could
like a
get a
king.
pretty nice place. You would think, I mean, you could buy buy a home with that within a couple years. She had to pay that every month, and the food is horrible. She said it was the most uncomfortable bed that she'd ever had been in, and she complained about it. They gave her a new bed, and it still was the next bed was even worse than the one before. And you would think you paying 15 grand a month that
That's a lot.
you're going to get something somewhat nice. Nope. And this environment, and that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I grew up in around nursing homes and hospitals and seeing, smelling the smells and seeing the sights and seeing the devastation, and that was what helped me begin my journey of asking the question: is this necessary? Is this how things truly have to be? Or is there something that we can do so that we don't end up in places like this?
Yeah. Or you could be like Takora, climbing trees and doing yoga, at any age really, and just hanging
Right.
out and having the money to put yourself up, in style basically. Because if you have the health, then you have the wealth, which I learned the hard way previously. They kind of both go hand in hand together. You have to have both, right?
Right.
That's why, got the health back. Now I got to get the wealth back for myself and the community. And then once
Yeah,
that's achieved, then it's the island, That's the next step.
and
The
to really
everyday
be
island.
able to take, and if somebody and when somebody is in a situation where they need to be nursed, they need to be in a sanitarium kind of environment or whatever future environment we create, we're going to create it from a position of cleanliness, love, comfort, support, and healing, as opposed to these environments that don't, it's nothing, it has nothing to
Yeah.
do with that. And so we could definitely, with the proper resources, I mean, we can create just healing facilities, healing communities that is just on a whole other level.
Yeah. For them, it's not about healing those nursing homes. It's about money. They're just there to make money, to squeeze as much profit as they can out of those poor elderly, And they don't care like if they get hurt in the process. It doesn't matter as long as they get their 15K a month.
Hmm.
That's it. That's all they care about.
Yeah, look at these gorgeous hospitals, gorgeous. Look at where all the resources go, all the millions and millions of
Yeah.
dollars into making this space age looking hospitals for what?
For what? Yeah.
Because inside is horrible. Like I've been in some of these. The inside is not as nice. Like where people actually are.
No.
It's like the lobbies might be kind of nice and the cafeteria or something. But as soon as you get to where you actually would be laying, looking at the ceiling of the hospital, it's like this is not a whole lot in here going on. Like this is not a comfortable environment.
Nah, it's not a place people go to get healed. This is the place they go to die, basically. That's what this is, Death culture, once again. Like they don't get better over there. They just get worse and worse. Yeah, like look at this. That's what you get for $12,000 a
Yeah,
month.
12 grand a month get you
I could go to Mexico and get myself a penthouse, in Cancun for that kind of
right.
money. And then
Right.
and I'll still have like $3,000-$4,000 left over to do whatever, to jet ski and play
Mhm.
volleyball and go to nightclubs and dance and
Right.
whatever. Have the best fruits available on the market. Live like a king. And
Right.
instead you get this.
But that's what they do. So you literally either have to pay out of pocket, so you have to have a bank account. When people talk about retirement and they say, well, you better get 1.5 million or 2 million in the bank or something. Well, they're talking about this because
Yeah.
if you don't have your finances set up properly, there's a 5-year look back. I talk about that in this presentation with the Medicaid. So you get
Yep.
to a point where you drain all the money out of your bank account, then you basically, like, they literally rob you of all of this money that you've been saving up in your 401k, and you've been trying to be a great citizen, and you got your 401k and your IRAs, and you did all the things that they told you to do. You followed Kramer to the T. You did everything that they wanted you to do.
Yeah.
And at the end, they say 12 to 15 grand a month. That doesn't include the expenses. You got to buy your diapers, adult diapers. You got to buy any medicine that's not covered. All these expenses that essentially put you in the hole and force you into indentured, your servitude. I mean, you're laying there. I mean, they
Yeah, you
basically,
can't really serve.
yeah. There's a whole
Can't
other
do
thing
that.
going on behind the scenes. You're serving like literally like the Matrix, just with your body. Like you're laying there,
Man,
and
that is my
they're
worst nightmare. Like when I imagine that, it's like, oh my God, hell no. I'd rather be dry fasting for like 20 days than, do that, than end
right.
up in that kind of situation, you know? Like
Yeah,
that's expensive, man. See, that's why eating pus and mucus, that's the real price you pay. That is the
definitely.
price you pay. Not the money that you pay for the pus and the mucus or even the health, right? Effects. It's this. When you come to the end of your life, they take away all your money, put you in the bed, and leave you to die slowly, bed
Right.
bound. That's what happens. It's insane. See, but if you have that money not in bank accounts but in decentralized finance, then they can't get that. But
Yeah, they
they will
can't.
get that if you're in that state because you'll just give it to them. See,
Yeah, because the people that
gotta have both.
like, yeah, folks that have money that even do the traditional thing, but if they have money, they they've tend to, and they've had a private education, not a school education, but I mean just private sector education. They'll know about trusts. They'll know how to put
Yeah,
assets into a trust, essentially taking things out of their name so that there's no assets connected to their person, their legal person. And then hey, they qualify for, they might control millions of dollars of assets, but they can get Medicaid because there's nothing that's in their name. And so, and that's a whole other
instead
kind
of
of
paying fifty
discussion.
thousand dollars a month to this like scammers, they could be paying $15,000 to us at like Arid Sanitarium where we can actually heal them and put them back on their feet and not take the rest of their money. They can actually have their estate, and then when we
Right.
heal them, they can get out. They don't have to be there for life. They can just come in for like a year, for example, right? Go through like all the processes, the cleansings, the transitions, the enemas, the colonics, and then once they get better, they go outside and they still have their money, and then they can go to Mexico and hang out. I like Mexico, I guess. I don't know. Good associations with that. Yeah, it's crazy. Instead, people just opt into the system where they get abused. They get like financial abuse. They get physically abused. I mean, how crazy is that? You're paying
Yeah.
$15,000 for some orderly to kick your ass every day.
Yeah.
Like, in what world is this okay? I mean, I don't
It's,
understand.
I mean,
Like,
it's just like,
50
yeah.
grand to get your ass kicked.
Is this
That's
worth
literally
the
what it is.
slavery? What is going on? It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, you're,
come on.
yeah, yeah, paying 15 grand a month for the privilege of getting beat up when
Yeah,
you're defenseless. You're in a wheelchair. You're bedridden.
yeah. For that kind of money, they gotta be like scrubbing me down and take care of me and singing me lullabies, not slapping me in
Right.
the face and putting me on the floor and kicking me. Like this orderlies are doing. And then they get a slap on the wrist, they get fired, then nothing happens to them. I mean, just lately there was some guy who was just beating up and filming like a nursing home resident, just punch him in
Hmm.
the face and filming it himself. He's the one who filmed it, and then he put it online. And what happened to him? Nothing. They put him in like a psychiatric ward. Oh, he's sick. Oh, it's too bad. And that's it. Nothing happened to him. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's the story of that. Yeah. So we got to fix this whole system, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We got to get people in the DeFi, making money, controlling their funds, controlling their physiological state, and then if they need some help, they'll come to our facilities in our island and, get really tuned up, right? The
Hmm.
ones that like can't do it themselves. And that's it. Come in, get tuned up, come out. That's what Eric was doing with his sanitarium in Switzerland. He was having people who eat pus and mucus, but they were smart enough to come in every year or every 2 years, get healed, and then go right back to eating pus and mucus, which is okay.
Right.
Then because then they'll give us the resources for those that practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System, seriously, and we can build our little, world. So,
Right.
which is what Eric was doing. That's what he was using those resources for. I got his little strategy there. Repeat business, right? They keep eating pus and mucus, and then coming back to get, healed, and then just go right back out there.
Right.
Yeah, that's the pharmaceutical,
Let's
way.
see. Got a question. As we clean out, will our appetite for food decrease? Many people have lived healthy eating rice and grain. Are you not able to clean your blood with the aid of rice or wheat? So, I mean, all this stuff is all transitional. That's where we're different from everybody else that you're going to hear that has these really strict laws about how you can
Yeah.
eat this, but you can't eat this, and you got to do it this way. It's all transitional. The foods that are mucus forming are mucus forming. They're obstructing. It is what it
Yeah.
is. The question is, what steps can you take? What foods can you use to transition off of the worst foods, the foods that are going to cause the most constipation, promote the most disease, and get to foods that do not cause constipation, that do not cause disease, that perpetually clean the body. So when you're talking about the rice and the grain, there's a lot of societal programming when it comes to the health of certain people. Like, oh, these people over here, well,
They're
in
healthy.
this land way over there, they're
Yeah.
so healthy, and they ate rice and they ate this and they ate that, and it's like, look a little closer. Like, go to their, all the people that are supposed that you're talking about, check out where they're at now. Check out their hospitals, their whatever their nursing homes are. Look at their prisons. Look at their,
Yeah.
look at their society, and really take a look, because that's a false narrative. We're like, oh, these people are healthy or this. One way to explain from Arnold Ehret's perspective is anytime you find a people that are not gluttonous, that eat small amounts of, even small amounts of the worst foods on the planet,
Yep.
you may be able to live longer than the most vegan of vegans or vegetarian of vegetarians that's an overeater of mucus forming foods, of the starchy stuff and the processed foods. So yeah, you can go find somebody that eats, like some little piece of meat once a day, or an egg a day, or like a
It's
scoop of
camouflage
rice.
fasting, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, camouflage
Camouflage
fasting.
Yeah.
It's not creating as much physical constipation, but eventually the body's going to have to pay the piper, and the acidosis is going to kick in. Glands and organs will start to get weakened. Things start falling apart. And again, something that could have been preventable by not going down that road. And you're talking about rice, especially white rice. I mean, you're talking about
That's
something,
glue.
glue.
That is glue. They
Create,
use rice for gluing.
used to create glue. You can look that up,
Yeah.
rice glue, and you literally just
Yeah.
water
glue.
rice or rice flour and just heat it up, and it's going to turn into this very sticky glue. That's not something that you want to be putting in your body day after day after day, and creating this systemic. A lot of folks, a lot of people base their concept of health on people who have the best tolerance for the worst foods. They get put on a pedestal in our society. Like a couple weeks ago, we just had the Joey Chestnut, the champion, hot dog eating champion of the world. And he's lionized, and they put him on ESPN, and they made a documentary about him and all this foolishness, just because he is filthy enough to withstand, for year after year after year, he's been able to eat insane amounts of horrible food and not die.
Yeah, he trains.
He
as
trains.
They say.
Yeah,
he trains by eating pus and mucus, basically.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And getting his body acclimated to eating this worst like crap imaginable. Because our bodies are amazing, right? They adapt to anything. You know, like look at all this like carnivore people, keto people. They like that's also a camouflage fast. When they start eating all meat or all raw meat, like the Liver King or whatever, like that's a whole separate conversation. They just cut out starches. They cut out mucus
with a side of steroids.
Basically. They cut out mucus. They only eat pus. So they cut out half of the equation, and they start to feel better because they stop eating the Kit Kats, the Snickers, the chips, the donuts, ice cream. They cut all that stuff out, and they leave only meat. So is that being healthy? Just eating like raw organs, livers and hearts and gizzards and whatever the hell crazy like things these people do? They're insane. But eventually it does catch up to them. Eventually, they get so acidic that first of all, they get constipated like crazy, because I've done that. I've tried Atkins like maybe 10 years back or more when I was like desperate and trying to heal myself with anything possible. Man, I got like the worst constipation of my freaking life. I don't want to give the details, but like I didn't go for like a week or something, to the bathroom. It was insane. So, that acidity catches up to them and they get cancers and, like colon cancers and stomach cancers and all these things, Are they being healthy? Not really. I mean, it's just horrible.
Right. And to answer the question about, as you clean out, will your appetite, your appetite for the worst foods go away. You literally change your taste buds to the point where you no longer crave foods that are going to harm you, especially the worst foods. You'll still crave some mucus forming foods, and that's part of the transition. You use them. But they're not all mucus forming foods are created equally. That's very important to understand. There's some that you can eat for quite a long time, and others that you want to get off of immediately. And so, but that's a big part as you clean yourself up. Definitely your desire to eat the worst foods goes away, and you don't want that anymore. You don't want the anxiety that comes with eating meat. I was 17 years old with all kinds of anxiety in my stomach. I was addicted to cigarettes, smoking that. Like, what 17-year-old smokes Nat Shermans? I was hanging out with a cat. With a cat.
I was smoking cigars and having my whiskey collection and eating steak 3 times a day. And I paid for it, big time. Like all those people are paying right now.
And so, but I didn't. No one told me that. I didn't make that connection until I got off of meat. And I noticed that the anxiety went away. The desire to want to smoke went away. All those things just started to go away as you was clean. Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Cigarettes, cigarillos,
Yeah, like, so, I had a friend that worked at Tinderbox. So he got me hip to all of the finest. It was like a pack of Nat Shermans was like $10 or something. I get a pack of that. But it was like the clean. It just felt like the clean. If there's such thing as a clean cigarette, but it's like
clean tobacco cigar, rolled from like tobacco leaf and all that jazz. They put out these stories like, oh look, it's Cuban hand rolled. Rolled by virgins in the factory or something like that in the jungle. Like, and that's why it's $1,000 a cigar, and you have to take like $1,000 rum and dip the end of the cigar into that. Like, I used to do marketing. All these rituals, man. I used to do like an idiot. Then when I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking. That's it. That was kind of the end of that. Because I would only smoke when I would drink. I would never like smoke, like cigarettes or anything like that. Like I was never addicted to alcohol or tobacco. I was just, when you have a couple of drinks, you want to smoke a nice cigar or a cigarette or whatever with everybody, like a social thing. But, so you kind of one thing leads to another, which, a bad cycle. Got to get out of that altogether. Yeah. So bad habits by bad food.
Yeah, it's the root, as we say, the root of all evil. Pus and mucus eating.
Pus and mucus.
The root of all evil.
That's where it's all at, man. The right mindset, everything is achievable once you remove pus and mucus out of the equation.
Right. Let's see, you got another question. How do parasites pass on? Intercourse is for, I mean, you play with the pus and mucus and the pus and mucus eaters. You get to play with the parasites too. It's like
that's what they love. That's what they feed on.
That's
the preferred terrain. You kind of hang out in there, and the parasites actually drive you to a lot of those foods. Like those are not your appetites. That's actually the parasites. They want the meat. They want the pus. They want the mucus. They're like, come on. And if you don't give it to them, they start releasing toxins in your system, and you feel like crap. That's what normals call hunger. When the parasites are not happy and they're driving you, towards like the proper nutrition for them. Yeah. But I'll let the professor answer that. I'm not the expert here.
I mean, the cleaner you get, my experience had been it becomes a vibrational frequency thing where I don't vibe with the folks that's eating a whole bunch of meat and dairy and drinking, and it's like I don't vibe on that anymore. It's not fun for me, so I'm not gonna put myself in those environments. Every once in a while, will I be someplace and it's something crazy going on or something like that, or usually, if I'm a musician, and so sometimes I'll find myself in environments that I otherwise would not be there at all. But
Yeah.
and some of that for those of us that take on the challenge, we'll go out and do a little evangelism of the diet, and we'll go out to places where that we otherwise wouldn't be, and we're talking to people about the diet and sharing some information with people. But yeah, in terms of the personal, and I know, and we talked about this last week with Brother Air, because he's still kind of would keep ties with some of the folks that old friends and things that were meat eaters, and he would still communicate with them and stuff. But I had kind of created that boundary years ago.
The ones that are still left, huh?
Yeah, well, that's really,
'Cause
because
we're talking about that. He's like, Jesus,
his
man, like,
friends
it's
are dying
dropping
left and right. People
left
he
and
grew up
right.
with, yeah, in their
Crazy.
50s and 60s, and
Yeah.
but it's it's one of those things where just as you get really serious about this lifestyle, they say the law of attraction, you're going to attract people that are of the same vibration, of the same mindset. And when you're doing this work, because this is a real path, like when you're going down this path and doing this work, it's like it's not just some little diet where you're
Yeah.
I'm getting
Said that
healthy. It's
again.
like, yeah, this is a whole way of life of true transformation, and a lot of people aren't ready for that. They're not ready for the kind of transformation that is demanded of them. And I do my best to warn people, like, if you want to feel good, you want the physiological liberation and to not age as fast and to not have all those diseases, then there's things that you're going to have to let go of in
Yeah.
the society, in the society world. A lot of programming you're going to have to deconstruct, and choices that you have to let go of, old desires. You got to be ready, because a lot of that stuff is going to eliminate itself, but you got to be ready to let it go. And a lot of people aren't. A lot of people, they get to a point where they're like, man, I'm not craving
They're on the
such and
fence,
such
huh?
anymore. Yeah,
They're
they
like
get
they're like hesitant to take that final step, like, oh
right.
man, like I love this thing and that thing, like, can I give this up? You gotta decide. You can't just straddle the fence. You have to,
Yeah,
make a decision. Either you're going forward, or you go backwards and descend back into your old habits, right? And that's where, like,
exactly.
the practice like breath work and meditation come in. That's really helpful. I mean, I personally like meditate every day. I do breath work every day, like, and it's really helpful to keep like the stress at bay, right? Do like 11 enemas. I do my little like morning ritual, right? Where I do an enema, I meditate, I do breath work, I do a little fitness to get those endorphins pumping, to get that, good, feel good chemicals into the brain. And yeah, in the beginning, you feel like crap. But then once all of that kicks in, the diet, the breath work, the meditation, the fitness, bam, you start to feel better than you ever felt in your life. That was my experience. And then the
Hmm.
things that you used to enjoy, like the poisons, like smoking cigars and drinking whiskey, and like whatever, doing some drugs with people, you're just like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Like that just doesn't interest me anymore. Like,
Right.
and you basically like feeling good naturally, so like sober. So like I said, sobriety turned out to be the best drug of them all. Like for me, it's great. I'm loving it. Yeah, that's my little experience.
Yeah. And again, on Tuesday we are having free training. Vadim is going to show us how to get into decentralized finance in the crypto space. If you've ever had any interest in what's going on in crypto, or what it is, or how you can make passive income with it, then you want to be there Tuesday. He's going to be giving up all the secrets. I'll show you
Yeah.
exactly what to do in this training to get yourself into the DeFi and really take advantage of, because we don't know when it's going to pop. I mean, it
Yeah,
could be in a couple months, it could be in a couple
yeah,
years, probably sooner than a couple years.
I think sooner than later, man. I'm
Yeah.
seeing some real signs of like thawing, spring. Because I mean, the mass media just turned positive. That's a real bullish signal. Because
Right.
usually, their overlords, command them to just put out negative news about crypto, right? And that's what they've been doing for the past, I think, 2 years. Just negative, negative, negative. It's like, oh, this failed, that failed. Oh, DeFi is failing, which it's not. It's bull. It was decentralized pretenders that were failing. Like, so yeah, I'm gonna debunk that right here. Yeah, so right now is still a great time to get in since while we're still in the bear market, while the prices are bottom. They went up some already, like you've seen some movement. Now that SEC lost their case against Ripple, that was a big impulse up. So prices start going up. But like I said, it doesn't matter if the prices go up or down. Like I teach people how to make passive income on their savings in any market conditions. It doesn't matter. Bull market, bear market. I'm gonna show you how to make money every month, like stable income. Yeah, this is not trading once again or speculation. I mean, there's a place for that. People like me and Jim, we enjoy these things. That's, we take our passive income and we invest it in our speculative bets to make some more money, right? But I'm never going to take my main money out of my account and start like trading it like a degenerate. I'm not that much of a degenerate,
Right.
Yeah, like I'm going to keep my, passive income stash, going through the bear and through the bull. And then once the bull pops, I'm gonna cash out my portfolio and I'm gonna put more into the passive, income sources. So I can make even more every month and just hang out in the Arid Village and not work at all. That's the dream, to get to that resource-based economy like we were talking earlier, where you're not gonna
Yeah.
need money. But in order to get to that, you need money. It's like the
Right.
irony, the ultimate irony, right? To
Yeah.
escape
Yeah.
the money trap, the money rat race, you need money. Like,
Right.
to get rid of
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
you need
Well, I mean,
money.
it's like to get off of mucus, you got to eat a little mucus.
Exactly.
You
Yes. Yes.
get
You gotta
you get
transition.
transition. Right.
You make some passive income, you get some Bitcoin, then that grows, you get more passive income. Now you can quit your job and actually, get really deep into the practice, right? Because now you have the time and the money to practice, which is what I did. I had my passive income supporting me while I was dealing with all these issues that I had, my teeth, my back, my knees, my shoulders, my stomach issues. Like, man, I'm not even gonna get started. Like my teeth, everything was like screwed. I mean, like at one point I couldn't even make it to the bathroom, like barely. I could barely walk to the bathroom. I was almost blacking out from the pain trying to walk to the bathroom, which was like 3 feet away. That's how bad it was, man. I was walking around with a little cane, like it was ridiculous, So yeah,
Wow.
that's why I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything because once you hit that rock bottom, you can't really make any money. You can't even make it to the bathroom. I'm not even talking about making money.
Right.
Like, come on. Yeah, that's why it took me 5 years of practice to heal all of that. Like at this point, everything is healed. I mean, yeah, I still have some, aches and pains, and I'm not like 100%. I don't have the ultimate health like Teresa Mitchell and rational fasting. I'm still working towards that. I'm still doing my little micro phases and and things like that. And but I know I will get there.
Mm-hmm.
100%, I will get there. I will do my final fruit transition and hit that, do those like magical eliminations, where she had things got out her throat and then she felt like crazy lightness. Man, I read that
Right.
story probably like 20 times, man. That was the biggest source of inspiration for me when I was going
Mm.
through some serious elimination through my crises. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, for the Spira knows, like I went through some, really gnarly eliminations where I couldn't even get out of bed. I was just like, oh, like there was some like real nasty stuff coming out. All those like alcohol and cigarettes and all those painkillers that I used to take for my back pain. Man, I used to take like Percocet, like 8 Vicodins a day, just to have like just to eliminate the pain for that day when I had my back issues. It was nuts, man. But I quit cold turkey after, which which was a mistake in hindsight. The doctor was like, "What are you doing, guy? You should have tapered off." Yeah, but that's me. Yeah, so yeah, I hope to see you all at this training where I'm gonna show you exactly how to make money in DeFi. This is not some BS, like all pitch and no training. It's gonna be training. Like I'm gonna show you step by step how to do it. So you just leave that training and you just take that and you apply it. Like yeah, you have to do a little bit of research. I'm not gonna show you exactly like how to set up where to click and where to go. Then the training would be like 8 hours long. That's not realistic. But yeah, but my course does that, so you have a choice. You can just take the free training, do a little bit of your own legwork, and you're good to go. Or you buy my course and, I'll hold you by hand, do the VIP concierge, live support, all of that. I mean, a lot of people in the community are already my students, and they're freaking loving it, man. They're making money, like hand over fist, They're making nice passive income. And I got the testimonials to back that up. Yeah. So yeah, I hope to see you all on Tuesday. It's gonna be a fun training. Yeah, I got some really good feedback from some other events that I did, some other trainings that I did, and people are like, "Wow, like you're just giving away all your stuff, man. What are you doing? Like you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to just show us, give us hints and this, and you're just like lining it out, like step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm like, so that's fine. People who want like more service from me, they're gonna get it. It's fine. They'll pay for it. Those that don't, that's good. That means I provide value to people, especially to the Mucusless Diet Healing System community. I'm good with that. I feel good about that. Yeah.
Right.
So hope to see you all there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Be great.
be a good time. So yeah, click the link right now. Go ahead and sign up and join us with this Tuesday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. And we already have people that had worked with Vadim. In addition to myself, some others that have been doing miraculous things with taking the principles that he was teaching and really applying them and really making some really nice passive income. So don't want to miss it. Click the link, sign up right now. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I had some people basically quit their part-time jobs because people couldn't make ends meet. They were working a full-time job and driving an Uber on the side to make some extra money because they weren't able to, pay for all their bills. And then basically they started, using my course and my advice and my coaching, and they started making $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, and they were like, forget Uber. I could just sleep in my bed and the money keeps, coming in like passively. Great. They quit that job. Some people quit their jobs altogether and just, if you move to a cheaper locale with 3-4K a month, you could eat all the fruits you want and just hang out on the beach and just, check up on your farms once a week. And that's it, which is the dream. But I can't do that because, we need to make the big money for the island, for the arid island, for the resource-based economy. That's my mission. That's why I do this. I don't do this for the money. I do it to get the resources to get that island going. So I could be there and then there'll be no need for money at all, in principle. That's my mission. That's my goal. I don't care about yachts and cars and, fancy watches and flexing like Andrew Tate on Instagram. Oh, look at me. I got millions. Like, I don't care about any of that. I already had that. Like,
Right.
had that, got sick, lost that. So I've been there. I've done that. I have been a multimillionaire, and it's not all it's cracked out to be. I was sick, unhappy, miserable, and what? The money didn't do anything for me. Yeah, if I had that money now, though, I would put it to work towards the mission. So that's what drives me, to bring financial liberation to myself and to my brothers and sisters in the MDHS community. That's my mission. Professor knows this. I'm very crystal on like what goal. Like I'm visualizing that island, the fancy bungalows, that everybody has, the saunas, the pool, the little auditoriums where a Brazilian ensemble can, perform with no stress, right? Or other people can perform, not just Brazilian ensemble, right? Like once you don't care about money, you can just do what you like, what you want. You can dance, perform, draw art. You can
In
do
the
whatever you
tour,
like.
yeah, and I've been focusing on the physiological liberation tours that are coming up.
Yep.
And so, and that's people Bugatti, and this is like I'm looking at a $2 million tour bus. That's what.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
It's consciousness. What does a however much those call? What does a Bugatti do? What's that do? But what if you would spend some money if you have a $2 million tour bus where you can tour around the world or wherever you're at. That's and you're giving people something of supreme value. That's a whole different situation. And so
bringing health to people. That's what you're doing. Health is real wealth. It's not the money. The money is nothing. It's just paper. Yeah, but you need it to survive because they made it like this. That's the society they've created. So you have to scramble and compete against each other to get this money. And meanwhile, the 1% is just sitting there laughing, printing as much of this paper as they need, or loaning it out to each other and laughing at everybody like, oh, look at these idiots. We're just buying their time for the paper that we're just printing out in the basement. That's how ridiculous that is. And you're like, oh no, once I'm rich, I'm happy. Like, no. The system is designed to keep you poor and engaged. That's the whole point. That's the whole game. Like, once you understand that, you kind of, once you understand how the matrix works, then you can get out of the matrix, right? But like in the movies, like some people are so caught up in it, they can't see it. They will fight until their last breath to defend the system that enslaves them, basically, right? That's what that is.
Right. Yep. This liberation, freedom. It's time to clean yourself up and then emancipate yourself from the matrix, the cave, whatever
Whatever that is.
analogy you want to use. Emancipate yourself from from all of the mess, and
Yeah, you got to regain control. You got to regain power.
income means corporate profit and is taxable. Pecuniary wages are your personal property. Yeah, I mean, as a whole, and that's what I was talking about earlier, where you
Yeah. The trust
don't
and all
have
that.
the trust and not having assets in your slave name and slave number and that kind of thing, and that's I mean that's a whole other. But
There are ways around that too. I mean, you could become a resident in a place like Dubai, where it's 0% corporate tax, income tax, property tax, like nothing. I mean, if you're American, you gotta, jump through a couple of hoops, but you can pay 3-4% in taxes instead of 30-40%. Like I'm looking into that as well. So if anybody interested in that information, I can hook you up. I got the hookups, and that this way you legally pay only 4 or 5% in taxes legally. No, it's just the loopholes in the tax code, and you could be a Dubai resident, have a corporation there, and that's completely legal. You declare everything to the IRS. There's no funny games. If you're not tax evading, you're just tax optimizing. See, and a lot of people don't know about that either. But if you work 9 to 5,
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that. That's only if you're an entrepreneur. Then you have that option, to have a company in Dubai and just pass your income through that, basically. Yeah.
Right,
So a little
right.
pro tip. Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to Tuesday as well. That's gonna
Yep.
be-
So yeah, it's gonna be good. Last chance sign up. Meet us on Tuesday, and thank you all so much for tuning in. Everybody, give Vadim a big thanks for being here on the show, trying to expose everybody to some. I know for a lot of you, some of this stuff is brand new concepts, resource-based economy
Yeah.
and decentralized finance, crypto, trust.
It's a
5-year
handful.
look back in your Medicaid, if you're there's $15,000 a month of nursing home cost, like all this kind of stuff. But these are the kinds of things when you create this mucus-free mindset, to where you truly understand what the problem is, so that you can take the steps to emancipate yourself out. We can build whatever it is that we need to build, so that we can put ourselves in a position to focus, having the center of our physiology and our diet to totally transform the human species physiologically, and actually evolve it, as opposed to right now the human has been in just perpetual de-evolution and degeneration. We have the tools now to be able to not through the technological and this and splicing these and growing humans in this test tube and that. Like, no, fruits and green leafy vegetables, enemas, cleansing, sunbathing, all of the tools that we have. With enough time, we can totally transform the human race into something that would be unrecognizable to us now, where we would just look back at a history book, and our children's children are going to look at whatever
Yeah.
whatever historical, however we give them historical information, they're going to look at that like this. They won't even be able to conceive of this, of what we living in now. Just not even gonna.
I guess the bull market is coming, huh? Brady was ready. He doubled his position in Stella. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brady.
No, so basically, he's getting the passive income, and he doubled his investment that's generating that income. That's what he's
Right.
saying. Yeah, which is like, I don't guarantee that. That's, but I do guarantee passive income though. But
Yeah,
you can get bonuses like that where you double your actual investment. If you get in the bear market, that's what I was talking about. You get in the bear on the bottom, then the bull hits, and your actual invested amount doubles in addition to the passive income that you collect every day, 24/7, 365. Yeah,
Right.
and you're saying, bring on the Arid Village. Hey, we're working on it. I'm all for it. I'll bring it around tomorrow if I could,
Yeah, if we could, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm working day and night, man. I haven't taken a vacation. I took one vacation in 6 years for a week. That's it. And the rest of the time, I'm working towards my mission. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
I just I gotta hit that mission. Once I'm on that island, surrounded by free, mucus-free people, with that vibration, that's it. Then I don't care about money. We have abundance, and we can just all hang out and play the ukulele. Like I'm gonna get on my flute again. Start learn flute for the 4th time in my life. I had to do it 3 times. I guess I'll have to do it 4. It's all right. Hanif is gonna give me some pointers. On that. He's the pro resident pro on the flute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it's at. That's where we're going, folks.
Yep.
Gotta
Get
on the
on
train.
I was gonna say, get on the train or get off the track.
Don't be left behind. Yeah.
Don't be left behind, and you say get out the way. And,
once we start going, that train is going fast.
Yeah.
Whoever's in the way, either get out of the way or get on the train.
Whoever's on, hey, we gonna have some fun together.
Yeah, let's go.
But yeah, whoever's not on, it's like
that's too bad. Once that bull run propels us to the arid island, it's gonna be too late to hop on then, because we're gonna be real selective, at that point. Like whoever was with us, that's it.
Because we're already seeing the transition to that just with Arid Day. We got the application process.
Yep.
We're not trying to have an event not this event that has like 100 people or 500, 1,000. It's like
very exclusive. Very.
Yeah. So. Because these are the kinds of discussions that take place, but deeper ones, ones that we can't do on here.
We can't discuss things on YouTube, because I don't want to get Professor in trouble. So I'm not saying half the things I want to say. I'm censoring myself right now.
Right.
For Professor's sake, not because I'm scared of YouTube. They already killed my
Right.
What are they going to do to me? Come to my house, beat me up,
They already
did the worst thing to me. Killed 15 years of my playlist, worth of music playlist that I put together touch by touch on the classic iPod over 15 years. That was my favorite stuff. Gone. They just killed me for one comment on one video. That's it. No warning.
With a link to Mucus-free Life.
Yeah, link to Mucus-free Life, and they banned me. They killed my account, all of it, my YouTube music, And I was stupidly enough didn't back anything up, so I'm screwed. But that's okay. I still have all my music though. They couldn't take that. They just killed my playlist. So I'm just gonna have to go one by one once we're on the island, and I'm gonna recreate those playlists. Just out of the principle of the thing.
Yeah.
Out of the principle. It's the principle
right,
here.
right.
I'm like, I'll get them back. No worries. I still remember all of them. They're in here.
Right.
Anyway.
So, all right, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And until next time, peace. I guess, was one announcement that I forgot to say that I should mention here. At Arid Day, we're going to have the reunion of the Breatharian Ensemble. I almost forgot that.
I didn't.
Breatharian Ensemble. We're going to be performing on Friday night around 8 o'clock at the mini mansion.
I can't wait. That's going to be rocking.
Yeah. I didn't even show the
eating some durian and listening to Breatharian Ensemble. That's heaven right there in the mini mansion. What could be better than that? And then hang out with Brother Aaron and Spira and Reese and Brady and the rest of the guys.
Yeah, so real quick before we get off, so this is where we're gonna be at here, the 5th annual Professor Honor Arid Day celebration. We're gonna be hanging out in this mini mansion, super hip in here. We've set up the music. We'll get the music pumping, and Breatharian Ensemble back here. Here it is, the official.
And it looks like the original sanitarium in Switzerland.
Yeah, it looks real. Similar. Yeah.
You can check it out on the application.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's like we're gonna be chilling there.
Yeah, so this is gonna be
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun, and so really looking forward to this. So if you want to be a part of history, that the Breatharian Ensemble, we haven't performed together in 12 years. This is gonna be
Yeah.
the reunion. And if you look back, older content on the channel, you'll see some of our performances and things that we were doing that were really super revolutionary for the time back then. I mean, well, for today, but I mean, it was a really special time period for us, and I'm sure we'll get on here and talk about it more as we get closer. But yeah, definitely, you don't want to miss that. You want to be in the house for that one. So. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And until next time, peace, love, and breath.
See you, everybody. Hopefully, it aired.
We are mucus free. 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 We are mucus free.